Hey everyone, if you're tuning in here on our YouTube channel, welcome you to the National Association for Gun Rights. My name is Christopher Stone, the Director of Communications. Got Austin Hine, who's Director of Federal Affairs, Political Shop, and then our boss Joe Neville, who's the Vice President of Political Operations here. And we just wanted to welcome you to the channel and talk about some of the political stuff that's going on in Washington, D.C., some of the fights that we are currently involved in and engaged in, and want you to be engaged in as well, because obviously we've got our staff there in DC who work with legislators, but really it's the grassroots lobbying actions of our members and supporters that turn the screws on Congress, that get things done as far as stopping gun control or passing pro-gun legislation. And today we've become aware of a situation that we need our members involved with. Specifically, it's the filibuster, which may not sound like a gun issue offhand, but Austin and his team have been doing a lot of work today. If you've been on our Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or seen some of the emails that we've sent out, you'll know we've been talking about the filibuster and the importance of protecting it in order to protect our gun rights. And so Austin and Joe and I just kind of want to have a discussion on that, let y'all know what's going on, and field any questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Feel free to call us, our organization. You can check us out on the web, nationalgunrights.org, to get involved. So thanks for tuning in. Austin, do you kind of just want to give everybody just kind of a recap of what's going on?
Sure. What's
the filibuster, why it's important, kind of what's happened with it right now?
Yeah, so a filibuster, in just the simplest of terms, is a way for the Senate to slow down legislation, and particularly for the minority to do so. What it does is it really sets the threshold to pass a bill at 60 votes rather than 51, which is a simple majority. And that's important for us because, if otherwise, then we'd have, Kamala Harris being a tiebreaker vote, the 51st vote, and Democrats could ram through whatever they want, whenever they want. And so the filibuster has been around for hundreds of years, basically since the beginning of our country. And it's been really instrumental in slowing government expansion and preventing gun control, in short. So what's happening today is that Senator McConnell, who leads the Republican Party, is brokering a deal behind the scenes with Senator Schumer, who is the majority leader, the Democrat leader. And basically what he wants to do is make an exception to the filibuster rule just this one time.
Just one time.
Just once.
One time.
And
that should scare everybody. Anytime a politician tells you, we just need to bend the rules just this one time. Bending the rules anytime is bad, but it's not just going to be once.
Because once they do it one time,
Yeah,
maybe the next time we could just do it one more time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We laugh, but it's pretty scary because anytime that they take an inch, they're taking a mile.
Absolutely.
And so this is a really serious situation. And the reason they're doing it too is because it's to raise the debt ceiling or the debt limit, which again, just like you said, doesn't sound like it's a gun issue. And on its face, it's not. But when you start talking about the filibuster and the long-term implications of that. If they're willing to suspend the filibuster for a debt vote, then they're certainly going to consider doing that for more controversial or other controversial things like gun control.
Yeah, anytime there's a quote-unquote another emergency that pops up with the Democrat mantra of never let a crisis go to waste, all of a sudden there's the opportunity, right? There's a new crisis. Hey, you know what? This worked before. Let's try it again, which is why it's so important that gun rights supporters and National Association for Gun Rights members get involved now and take action, make those calls, contact Mitch McConnell and leadership, tell them, hey, we're not going to go for this, that you're watching them, and they need to vote against any attempt to get rid of the filibuster.
And we'll talk about Mitch McConnell a lot, and we'll repeat his name and his phone number here. But if you want to call now and you want to stop listening to our boring voices, call Mitch McConnell at 202-224-2541. That's 202-224-2541.
Yeah, so, and those, I just want to say, the phone calls really do make a difference. We've actually, even here at the organization, obviously we do this professionally, but when we tell people to make the calls, we do it as well, since we have members of Congress that represent us. And Mitch McConnell, even if you don't live in Kentucky, because of his leadership position, he represents anyone who should care for the Second Amendment. And we know people have been putting in calls and their staff are getting them. They're actually kind of starting to get frustrated, which is a good sign for us. Yep. That means people are calling, people are taking action. And I know, I think all three of us have had stints working in Congress or working in legislative offices. And when you get constituents calling in repeatedly, even if I was just a low-level staffer, but man, after about, a couple of calls, 10, 15 calls on the same topic, the first thing I was doing was going to my boss next up in command and say, hey, we're getting knocked on this, or people are concerned about this issue. So it really does make a difference, especially when we talk about the 60 vote threshold. I mean, even just this year during the Biden administration, H.R. 8, Nancy Pelosi's universal gun registration, passed the House, right? Simple majority vote. That's the House. It's the people's House. She's in control. Her party's in control. And it got to the Senate, and what have we been able to do? We've been able to stop it because of grassroots activism and the rules.
Of you guys.
Yeah, because of members, and then utilizing the rules in the Senate to slow down legislation. And I think it's just, again, not to get on to some history lecture or anything like that, but it's important to remember, the United States of America is a republic. Everybody loves to talk about, we're a democracy. No, we're not. We're a republic. And the Senate is supposed to be different from the House. The House is the people's house. It is really one vote to swing everything. The Senate is not supposed to operate that way. And so when they change these rules, whether it's to raise the debt ceiling or any other issue that may not sound like it's related to the Second Amendment, they set precedent. And every time they set precedent, you're talking about, if it's not today, what about 4 years from now? None of us even know what the Senate and the House are going to look like in the midterm elections.
Yeah, things look like they could change rapidly.
Yeah, you could say, well, hey, maybe things look great in 2022. Why wouldn't we want to suspend the legislative filibuster so we can pass pro-gun legislation? Well, what does it look like in 2024, 2026? Now you're talking the same thing can happen. And so we want a situation in which things can slow down and the grassroots can take action, because when you can put the calls in, put the emails in, we can have our staff there on the ground go meet with people and crank up that pressure. It slows stuff down, and the politicians listen. If they have to go back to the district and they're having district constituent meetings because things have slowed down and angry voters are showing up and politely voicing, saying, don't vote for this, support the Second Amendment, that's when things change. And so it's critically
make
important.
No mistake about this. This is on the Republicans right now, whether this happens or not. This ain't them. We know where they stand. They're not going to support. They want the filibuster to go away for the most part.
That's right.
But Republicans have the opportunity right now. Mitch McConnell and his caucus have the opportunity to stop the filibuster, or to keep the filibuster and not get rid of it. It's up to them. It's not up to. We need to make contact with them right now.
Yeah, and to that point, there have been a couple really good conservative leaders on this issue. Even now, Senator Mike Lee is one of them from Utah.
Champion.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Senator Lee was out there really raising the alarm late last night, and pretty much everything that he said is really coming true, and it's definitely something to be looking out for. But you're already seeing some what you call Republicans or McConnellites really that are falling in line already, and we got to kind of push back on those kind of guys. We had Roy Blunt from Missouri has already came out in support of it. Senator Thune, and John Cornyn from Texas. Another one is an old from acquaintance with our organization. We've had our issues with Senator Cornyn before in the past, but you'll see a lot of these names that you keep hearing about as far as the moderate Republicans. The Lisa Murkowski's out there, the Susan Collinses. Those are the people that you're looking at. They're going to be falling in line with McConnell and doing whatever he says.
With Democrats, yeah.
And with Democrats, that's right.
So it's up to us. We just got to make sure that they know. Keep the pressure up on them. As of right now, we're doing a lot of program. I don't know if you want to tell everybody kind of what's already in the works so they can see, the people that follow National Association for Gun Rights. There's a lot of work going on outside of this room right now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we're great to have people supporting us to do this.
Well, it's certainly been a scrambling the Jets kind of moment today. It's we've been all over the place. We're working on pushing radio ads. We're working on doing live calls. So especially if you're in a state that I mentioned, please call your senators and let them know that you oppose this deal. We're doing things like this is issue awareness, letting our people know what's going on. And those kind of people, I mean, McConnell will hide it from you too. I mean, we were talking about calling his office earlier. They're trying to tell us that that's not what's going on, but McConnell's out there in the press saying this is exactly what he's doing, and we're trying to, you know.
Yeah. So if you call in and they tell you, oh, that's not what's happening, just don't give up. Be polite when you talk to the person on the phone, obviously, but just make your case clear that you want the filibuster protected. This is a long-term battle to protect gun rights. And, again, always just follow us on social media. We'll be posting updates to Twitter and Facebook if you prefer those platforms, doing videos like this on YouTube. And we should have petitions you guys can sign. And when you fill out those petitions, we really do deliver them. Hunter King is our one of our guys on the ground in D.C., and he hand delivers petitions when he gets them. We mail petitions in, so we really do deliver those, and they make a difference. I mean, I know I've delivered petitions to Congress, I've delivered petitions to state legislatures, and when you walk into an office and you drop a stack on their desk on a given issue, I mean, man, that poor front desk person who has to sort all those, like, their eyes get as big as saucers.
I've been that front desk position. Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, so it's effective, and I'm just thinking, obviously we were talking about gun control issues from this year, being able to stop H.R. 8, but, think back to the Obama years, 2013, shortly after the Sandy Hook tragedy, when they had a whole slew of gun control packages that, it was basically a foregone conclusion that these were all going to pass. They were going to pass mag ban restrictions, universal gun registration, mental health checks, the whole 9 yards. It was the combination of the filibuster slowing things down, and then National Association for Gun Rights members getting involved and calling the phones, sending in petitions. I mean, the amount of petitions that were delivered, the amount of emails that were delivered, and then, our guys on the ground going to meetings and, being ambassadors for the organization, representing y'all. That's what they get paid to do, and that's what they love to do. They'll walk into hostile meetings, they'll walk into friendly meetings, doesn't matter, to represent the Second Amendment, that we're no compromise. We're not taking anything. No mag bans, nothing, no universal gun registration. We are in the business of stopping gun control and then restoring the Second Amendment. And we have to hold politicians accountable. And this is a great issue to hold them accountable on, to really test the people who are elected to represent us, to see if they're truly, when they go out on the campaign trail and they go, oh, I grew up hunting,
right,
and I like guns and everything. Yeah. It's easy to say that when they're trying to get your vote. But when the screws are being turned on them to say, oh, don't worry, this is not a big issue, just vote on this. It's, no one's really going to care.
That's a great point.
This is where we need to turn the screws and say, you made promises. You made campaign promises. Your campaign website said these things. What are you going to do now?
Yeah. You don't just get to put your little orange hunting vest on and your hat and go out there and take a quick shot, on your campaign literature and then get away with voting incorrectly with us. We're going to hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here. That's why we're happy to be the largest no compromise gun rights organization out there, and then we have our 4.5 million members and supporters out there like you who are helping us. It means the world to us that we're actually putting the pressure on these politicians. So, Austin, you want to throw that number out there again?
So once again, Senator McConnell's office, 202-224-2541. And just like you were saying, it's getting our pressure together and all that. And I just kind of want to let you guys talk about kind of how fast this thing actually happened. we got notification last night that this was a potentially this was going to happen
from the Twitter machine.
From the Twitter machine, within 12 hours or 24 hours, we have a deal coming out from McConnell's office, from Schumer's office, and from Nancy Pelosi's office. Got a press statement. We got a whole brand new bill, an amendment, and they're voting in the House on this package tonight. Tonight at 9:30 Eastern time, and that's why it's too bad we couldn't get Hunter on the line here. But Hunter, our DC guy, I mean, he's really on the ground right now.
Busy.
He's running around and trying to get the word out of what's going on, because a lot of conservative groups and a lot of liberty folks like we are. They're not aware of what's really happening, because they're trying to do this as a sneak attack. This is a a way to try and get this filibuster reform by you without you noticing, so they can try to avoid blame.
Yep,
So.
absolutely. And you can check us out too at gunrights.org. Find out more about our group, more what we're doing. We're involved in fights every day. I mean, whether it's this one or last week, we were dealing with the New York Times a little bit and some back and forth there. But right now, this is key. We have to stop any attempt to get rid of the filibuster. We got to get these guys to say no. It's vital for future rights.
Yeah, and I would just say too, I mean, we do have a motto here at the organization, which is, don't just randomly praise politicians, but there are people like Senator Mike Lee, especially if you're from Utah. I mean, send him an email, pick up the phone, just say thank you for. He's just been a consistent defender of the Second Amendment, and so Thomas Massey, Rand Paul. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule where they have really spent their entire careers doing what's right. I mean, they pay a price for it on Capitol Hill. People come after them. So, if you live in their states, if they represent you especially, please, just let them know thank you for defending our rights. But, more importantly is picking up the phone call and calling Mitch McConnell's office, taking that action. It really does make the difference, and that's what generates that wave, and we build on that success. I'm just thinking of all the states that passed constitutional carry this year that we were directly leading the fight in. You can ask any of our state directors, our field guys who worked on those issues. When they're out there on the ground doing work, they're going to committee hearings, they're working with legislators to get bills written, and then those legislators are turning around saying, I got a stack of your postcards, I had constituents call me and ask me where I'm at on this bill. That made the difference of passing pro-gun stuff. So this isn't just stopping things too. I mean, in the future, we're gearing up for state legislative cycles here in a lot of states. We'll begin in January and February, and we'll be working on passing constitutional carry in a ton of places. And so this forward momentum is things we need to build on, because 2021, honestly, has been a great year. Both stopping gun control in D.C., passing tons of pro-gun legislation at the state level, and we want to build on that in 2022. Just like keep the ball rolling. Right. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah. So just one more time, just kind of talk about some of the states that we're really looking at. If you live in Maine, call Susan Collins. If you live in Alaska, call Lisa Murkowski. If you live in Pennsylvania, call Pat Toomey. Missouri, Roy Blunt, yeah. Texas, John Cornyn. Alabama, Richard Shelby. Utah, Mitt Romney. Where we have a Mike Lee, we also have a Mitt Romney.
Mittens.
Yeah. Mittens. And really, Kentucky, if you live anywhere, you need to call Mitch McConnell at 202-224-2541. Tell them to oppose the Schumer-McConnell deal. It's really important, and it's happening really quick, so call now.
Yeah, and if you're on your phone or computer, if you just type in Capitol Switchboard, it'll come up, the phone number, and you'll call it, and the operator there will connect you to whatever office. So you don't even need to know their number. If you know their name, just get on your phone or computer, type in Capitol Switchboard, click the number.
Luckily, I have that memorized.
All right.
That's 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. That's the Capitol Switchboard.
Yeah, and those, be nice to the Capitol Switchboard people. They just transfer phone calls.
Transferring phone calls.
But they're great to get connected to the offices. So,
and if you're not involved with our organization, please get on our website, gunrights.org. Get on there, sign up, become a member. I think it's, what is it right now, $30, $40 or something like that. It's not that much money. Get involved right now, become a member. We need more people. We need more boots on the ground and more people involved in our grassroots efforts. So get on gunrights.org. Easy to remember. Click the sign up link, chip in a donation, or just sign up for alerts. Either way. We're doing some good stuff. I think we have an opportunity here. So.
Yeah, it's been an encouraging year, and like I said, we're just trying to build on that success. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. We've been posting a lot of updates here, and we've got the podcast showing some of the stuff too, because we're also really involved in the Second Amendment community, just as far as like shooting sports and things like that. And Twitter and Instagram, if you're on the social media stuff, is a great way to get involved and kind of see what's going on. We'll post information there, but. Yeah, we really want to go into 2022 strong, and any membership, any level of support is crucial. Like Joe was saying, if you can become a 1-year member, great. If all all you can afford is $5, you know, we'll take that $5 and use it wisely to defend the gun rights, to defend the Second Amendment. That's what we wake up and do every day, and it's an awesome job. I'm grateful that I can sit here and come to work, and you know, it's unfortunate that we have to fight things like this, but to do it is rewarding. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Definitely.
So we appreciate everyone's support. Like Joe was saying, you can check us out at gunrights.org, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Get involved in the fight. Make those phone calls. Is there anything else we want to talk about, fellas?
I think I'm all set. Make sure to make those phone calls, guys.
Make those calls.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Feel free to call us if you have any questions. We got all our contact information on our website. But we thank you for your support.